Welcome to the Hilton M. Briggs Library Speech 101 instruction. This video will cover defining your search strategy. By the end of this video, you will be able to determine the separate concepts within your topic, brainstorm a list of synonyms, narrower and broader terms, and formulate a search statement using Boolean Logic and Truncation. Before sitting down to a computer to begin your search, a few steps will help increase your chances of success. First, you need to determine the separate concepts within your topic. For instance, if I were to look at drinking and driving, I would have two concepts. Obviously, one, drinking, and two, driving. The next step is to do some brainstorming about search terms for our concepts. I find it easiest to lay out my search terms in a table with each concept at the top of a column. Thinking of search terms can be intimidating, but if you talk your topic out with a friend, you might find it easier than doing it by yourself. My concepts are pretty straightforward, so let's see what else we can think of. In terms of drinking, I can add alcohol, because drinking water just before driving doesn't seem so bad. Drunk, underage drinking, binge drinking, and there are others. For driving, I can think of other activities that drinking might have a negative impact on, such as boating, hunting, fighting, etc. You can also focus on specific groups. I already included underage drinking, but there are groups like college students or high school students. Now that I have determined the concepts within my topic and brainstormed terms to search, I need to decide which words I'll start with and figure out how to put the terms together to get the information I want. We'll look at truncating our terms and at using Boolean logic to do this. Don't worry, both are easier than they sound. I'll start with alcohol and driving. Truncation lets us search for different forms of the same word. For instance, I might want any form of the word alcohol. I don't care if an article talks about alcohol or alcoholism. I want that article. I could search once for the word alcohol and another time for the word alcoholism, but there is an easier way. I find the root of the word. In this case, alcohol is the root, and I put an asterisk at the end. This will get me any word that begins with A-L-C-O-H-O-L, whether there are any letters following it or not. The trick is to find the root of the word. Let's look at another example. The word driving could also be driver. In this case, if I use D-R-I-V-E with an asterisk, I would not get driving. Why? Let's look at the two words. They are the same for D-R-I-V, but then they go in different directions. D-R-I-V is actually the root of the word, and we would put an asterisk after the V to get all forms of this word. Truncation is very good for getting both singular and plural words. In my search, alcohol and drive are good candidates for truncation, so I'll truncate both of them. There are two terms that I would like to use to describe alcohol. Alcohol and drunk. Like with truncation, I could simply do multiple searches to search for the words I want to use. But again, there is an easier way. I am going to use Boolean logic to add the two words together. I want one or the other word or phrase to appear in each record. If both appear, that is fine, but I don't need both, just one. There is a term I can use to combine these. Let's go back to childhood for a moment. Think of a time when you wanted two different things and your parents said you could only have one. You could have the chocolate bar or the cookies, but not both. Who'd have thought that you could bring that logic to college, but you can. I want alcohol or drunk. Easy, right? Right. Now we need to add our second concept. We've got the term or down now. Can I use it here? Does the statement alcohol or drunk or drive make any sense? I hope you answered no, because we want one of the first two and the last one. Instead of saying you could have the chocolate bar or the cookies, what if your parents had been celebrating and said you could have both? You could have the cookies and the chocolate bar. We'll have alcohol or drunk and drive. Okay, we have the term or to combine words within the same concept, and the term and to combine two different concepts. Or will get you more records, but and will get you fewer. Now we have our statement, alcohol or drunk and drive. Two last items in setting up the search. Some databases search individual words. So if you have two or more words that go together in a phrase, such as underage drinking, you can use quotation marks around them to be certain the database knows that they are together. Finally, in our search, we want the computer to get the alcohol or drunk group first and then narrow it down. So we will put parentheses around the or statement. Parentheses alcohol or drunk, end parentheses, and driving. If you don't like math, hum really loudly for about 1 second. If you like math, this is just like using parentheses in math equations. Once you get this far, you are ready to start searching for information. The next segment will look at searching for books in our library catalog, and we will then go to searching for magazine, journal, and newspaper articles in the database ProQuest.